Walker, just an honor to have you back here at the Reagan Library. Thanks for coming.
Great to be back.
First question for you. Is there a plan? Do you have a game plan for tonight? Is there some way that you feel that you'll stand out amongst the crowd, or you just is it good enough just being Governor Walker?
Well, I'm going to be who I am, but a little bit it's going to evoke the spirit of Ronald Reagan. I think it's important not to have people talk about how bad things are, but rather how to talk about making them better. One of the great things that drew me to President Reagan, I was going into junior high in 1980, was he was an eternal optimist of the American people. It wasn't just a conservative Republican, but an optimist, and I'm going to lay out some of that optimism tonight.
Terrific. I was going to ask you that is, do you think there'll be like 9 debates in this cycle, but this will be the only one at the Reagan Library, or is there something about this backdrop that's special to you?
Oh, for me personally, I mean, like I said, I came of age. For me, it's not just a politically important thing to say. I actually think of the president, that's who I think of, Ronald Reagan. And I remember how bad things were in 79 going into 80 and how he really, through his election, turned the feeling and the tone of America around it. And I think tonight can be one of those magical nights where we can send a clear message that, you know, there are going to be some candidates in both parties who are going to talk about how bad things are. What I think Americans want to hear about is what's your plan to make them better. And
right.
As a governor who's taken on enormous challenges, I'm going to lay out a little bit of my record, but more to talk about why I can do the things I say I'm going to do to make this country better again.
Yeah, do you think being a governor is a real leg up on the other candidates?
Well, I do. In my lifetime, obviously the best president I can think of was a governor from California.
Yeah.
And I think it does give an advantage. That leadership, tested leadership. You know, we've got an apprentice in the White House right now, and we've seen how well that's worked out. Someone who never ran anything before in government. I hope the American people see that they don't want another apprentice, someone regardless of party who's never run anything before. They want someone who's tested, and we've been tested unlike anybody else in this race.
Yep. Is there a question that you hope you might get tonight, something that'll help distinguish you from the others?
Well, I hope people will ask a couple things. One, I hope there'll be some questions about the economy. We have yet to get that seriously asked to us in debates or by the media. They want to ask responses to one of the other candidates as opposed to, what are you going to do to help the American people regain the kind of economic regrowth we had back in the 1980s? I believe we can do that, but it's going to take a fundamental shift to get government out of the way, not just lower taxes, but reining in the federal government, certainly starting with repealing Obamacare. I'm the only one on that stage tonight who's actually got a plan to repeal Obamacare and put patients and families back in charge of the health care.
Well put. Final question, Governor. We hear Hillary Clinton's going to be watching tonight's debate very closely. Is there any message you've got for her?
I'm ready. I'm ready to take her on. I think if you look at Hillary Clinton's record versus mine, she's a name from the past, I'm a name from the future. She embodies all that's wrong with Washington. I'm about as anti-Washington as you can get. I took on Washington and won, not just on policy, but in elections. And probably most importantly, we actually got things done. We got results without compromising our conservative principles. Everywhere in the world that Hillary Clinton's touched is worse off today than before she took office. We're ready to go.
Wow, you're ready, Governor. You really are. Great to see you, and thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Absolutely.